And we begin today with the coronavirus situation here in China. The mainland reported 90 new locally transmitted cases on Friday. The vast majority were in the northeast, 56 in Heilongjiang province and 13 in Jilin. Authorities in Heilongjiang said most of the cases there were in rural areas and they were carrying out control measures accordingly. Elsewhere, there were 15 new cases reported in the northern province of Hebei and 3 infections each in the cities of Beijing and Shanghai. About 2 million people living or working in central Beijing are required to be tested on Friday and Saturday. The mainland also reported 17 imported cases on Friday. For the latest updates, let's go to our reporters, Feng Yilei here in Beijing and Liu Jiaxin in Shanghai. Yilei, let me start with you. We know the Chinese capital launched mass testing in some areas, some districts on Friday. How's that going so far?
Well, Zhengshi, the campaign to test some 2 million people in central Beijing is still going on, and that is expected to complete this week. Some residents told us that they've already received the results from the mass testing. That came as local government announced some more confirmed cases in Daxing, where the new local cluster first emerged, had entered the downtown areas, which is bringing increasing risks of infections. So before the mass testing started, the central Xicheng government said they had already organized 4 rounds of nucleic acid tests on over 450,000 people and found no virus positive patients. And earlier, Haidian district, where a great many schools and IT giants are located, have also tested related venues and people that have contacts with the confirmed cases. And the results released so far were all negative. And besides, the capital city has also begun to take an anal swab on key population to improve accuracy of testing, as well as serum antibody tests for all overseas arrivals who enter the city in about 40 days. An expert told us these could also be a response to the more contagious virus variant B.1.1.7 found overseas, which is believed to be linked to several fresh cases in Beijing. And as the source of these cases are still under investigation, he said there's probably no better way to precisely trace and curb the virus than a large-scale testing. But so far, local authorities have not yet announced whether or not they will expand the detection to the whole city. But being wary of further transmission, authorities have ordered, for example, key residential compounds to pay more attention to garbage removal and disinfection, and medical institutions to set up buffer zones, training institutions to stop all offline training and group activities, and students to begin their winter holiday today earlier than usual. Back to you.
Jiaxin, let's also get a check of the situation there in Shanghai. The city imposed lockdowns on 2 of its best-known hospitals after they were linked to newly confirmed cases in the city. How else is the local government there trying to prevent more cases?
Yeah, Zhongshi, a residential community in Shanghai's Baoshan district has been classified as a medium risk area after new cases emerged on Friday. In addition to the residential area of Zhaotong Road in Huangpu district, there are now 2 medium risk areas in Shanghai. In principle, people living in these areas are advised not to leave the city. If they really must, they need to possess a negative test result valid within the past 7 days. In the press release on Saturday, the government is also advising students against taking part in extracurricular activities offline during the winter vacation. One potential upcoming risk: restaurants and supermarkets are expected to receive a large number of visitors during the Spring Festival. The government is encouraging the public to avoid using cash to pay and instead pay electronically with their handsets. The public is also being told to wear gloves when handling cold chain food in supermarkets. In the transportation sector, officials say they will continue to vaccinate key groups, including staff working in airports, ports, and on railways, as well as bus and taxi drivers. The government also says it will adopt stronger epidemic control measures in shopping malls, supermarkets, on transportation, and in other public areas. So last but not least, the government is reminding citizens entering public places to always wear masks, cooperate with temperature checks, and show their house codes as required. Back to you, Zhongshi.
CGTN's Feng Yilei in Beijing and Liu Jiaxin in Shanghai. Thank you so much for your reports.